Well, dear one, I'll read to you from page 51 of Winged Pharaoh by Joan Grant. Father asked my thoughts. I told them to him. And while we were eating our breakfast of fruit, he said, "Before I can answer the questions in your thoughts, I must tell you of your spirit. As I've already taught you, we are made of body, soul and spirit. The body is the cat, and the car ibis, and the car. This is the outer covering of our soul and spirit, through which we gain experience on earth. And when the body dies, the car and the car ibis die also. Our soul is the bar and the nam. These we have need of as long as our spirit must be reborn upon earth. And that is until we have learnt to master our emotions, our thoughts, and our will. And that leaves spirit, which is the only part of ourselves that endures forever. While we are on earth, we can think of much that is permanent. And we do this every time we think of those things which the Nam does not embrace. It might be Nam, actually. I'm saying Nam, but I think I should say Nam. I asked, how can I be sure that something I think about belongs to the Nam part of myself? In other words, the transitory. And he said, all things that can be apprehended by the five senses of the body are things of form, and therefore of the Nam. They're the transitory, you see? But you cannot see or taste or touch qualities. You cannot smell courage or hear patience, for they're beyond the limitations of form as we know it. When you think of the qualities, you think of them with a part of your spirit called the za. Could be za. After all, it's just said za. You know the divisions of the body and of the soul. The za, ZA, with which we think of things that are permanent, is written as a circle with grid lines inside it, like a sieve. For just as a sieve can sift stones from dust, so does the za sift the dust of earth, which is blown upon the wind, and is no more seen from the rocks of truth which endure through time. So time itself is not of the transitory. It's eternal. Things of the spirit are eternal. The body isn't. And the soul is not needed when you no longer need to return to the body. So if you think of qualities, well, in as far as you apprehend them, consider them, they are in thought form only, whereas the things around you impress you in thought form, but also affect your senses. The things of the spirit are eternal, including time. And time seems to embrace those things of the eternal. It's the medium in which the eternal things are. Let me continue. Well, I'm on page 52 now. And I asked Father why he didn't write his name as a sieve. And he said it could be written so, although usually his seal was put the reed bundle or the snake and the arm, which were the sound signs for his name. The great menace, MENISS, is the name of the great menace. Menes had called him Za, or Za, don't know, saying that it was a good name for a ruler who could sift truth from falsehood and so give justice. Well, I think of the obvious, which is the biblical view of that God is spirit and he is life. Which in terms of this reading here is the qualities, and especially I would say the values. For the values ascribe quality to the notions of principle that guide how we live. And the whole point about the spirit is that it lives eternally. Notice in saying that it's in time. Now we think of values as the foundation on which we live and choose to live. They are then the creative source of our living. If we have values, then we have life. We initiate creativity because of our values. So we can see living here in the universe, the transitory, as a place to get our values right, so that we don't need to return here again. The cardinal value, as I understand it, and I think it's from the Jesus story, I'm sure of it really, is from Jon 17, which is to value God to know him and to love him with all heart, soul, mind and strength, which I think is to come to the values that he has, whereupon our spirit is therefore consistent with eternity in his completeness, in his perfection. We do not shed our spirit, but blend, in other words, commune with God. We think of God as having only one completeness, but every flower is complete. Every flower is beautiful and unique. And together they make up the garden. There's no limit to this garden and no end to it. So it's wrong to think of shedding the causal body. For the causal state is the purity of a unique soul and eternal. And they are eternally in communion with each other. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.